In this video, I want to show you how to replace stained or damaged individual pieces of hardwood flooring. In this tutorial, I'm using some chisels, some hammers, some wood glue and wood filler, some punches, some finish nails. You could use normal nails or an actual nail gun, a circular saw, an oscillating tool with a wood blade, and helpful but not essential if you have the circular saw is a miter saw. The next largest, closest size available wood in the same species as the hardwood that you are patching. For the first step, you will need to measure the depth of the hardwood. In my case, this has never been sanded, so I know it's 3/4 inches. Next, set the circular saw to that same depth. You want to go a tiny bit less to make sure you don't saw into the subfloor. So the depth is right off right here. To loosen it, you just pull this lever back, adjust it, and then retighten. Make sure this does not move as you're tightening it. Next, you will need to decide which part of the wood you want to remove, whether to remove an entire length or just a part of it. In my case, the damage is limited to just this plank right here in this area, so I'm not going to worry about taking the whole piece out. Otherwise, I have to replace all of this, so I'm only going to focus on right here. So what I'm going to do now is line up the circular saw, pull the blade back, and set it right here. Keep in mind that as you plunge into the wood, the actual cut will go further back than you think it will. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to slide it up a little bit further. So I'm going to position the saw so it's just next to where the end of the board meets, so about right here. And I'm going to make a cut that runs parallel along it. So I'm going to do this, position it, plunge into the wood, holding this vertical. Let this flat piece rest on the wood, then move it forward. Keeping an eye out where the blade is. You don't want to go past the end of the board here, or else you have to be replacing more boards. Once I've done the first cut, I'm going to pull out, reposition parallel with the cut I just made, but position it on this side of the board and repeat the exact same step. So I'm going to do a cut right next to it, going along and ending and starting where the first cut was. Next, I'm going to make a cut that runs right here, connecting these two cuts, and then I'm going to repeat the process right here. So then there will be one piece that I can remove. Next, I'm going to mark where I want to end the cut if I'm not going to remove the entire board. So I want the board to end right here so I can salvage the rest of the board. So I'm going to line up the square right here, make sure it's lined up with the edge of the board, and make a mark. If there are any nails embedded in the subfloor, you'll need to hammer them down or remove them. Once the area is cleaned out, it's time to take measurements. So in this case, these are 2 1/4 inch wide, and I took out just over 11 inches, so around 11 1/16 of an inch long. So now I'm going to go downstairs and cut out my piece to replace this. So here I am at the miter saw. I also have my piece of oak ready. So what I'm going to do first is measure out the length that I measured before. So 11 1/16. And I'm going to quickly cut that out right here. Make sure you have the blade on the correct side. You don't want to be cutting on the wrong side of the mark, otherwise it'll probably be too short by the thickness of the blade. With the piece cut lengthwise, I'm going to measure out the width, so in my case 2 1/4. Make the lengthwise cut on the miter saw. I'm going to put a flat edge right here that'll span the fences so I could have something to rest against. And I'm going to move this over and line it up where it needs to be. Make sure this edge is completely square against my straight edge. To hold it secure, I'm going to use a clamp and just clamp it right here. Piece cut, it's time to do a test fit. So make sure everything fits correctly. There should be a slight gap all the way around just so you can maneuver it in. Make sure don't lose it at this point. If you get it in there, it'll be very difficult to get back out. As long as you know that it fits and there are no loose pieces in the cutout, So there's actually one tiny piece right here. There can't be anything in here because it won't sit flat otherwise. So even this small piece right here, I'm gonna have to get out real quick. So now I'm gonna get the wood glue. I'm gonna pick the best side that I want facing outward. This is pretty much completely symmetrical. I can't tell the difference. So I'm just gonna put some lines of glue. Actually, I'm gonna put them down here. Doesn't need to be too much. Also gonna put them on the sides. You don't want to put them on the piece of wood here because when you slide it in, it'll just knock all the glue off and then you'll have a big puddle of glue right here. With that done, you can then put your piece in. This is the last time you'll be able to get it out, so make sure everything's like you like it. If you feel like there's going to be something stopping it, then you can pull it out. So I'm just going to fit it in, and it's a perfect fit. You can use your hammer if you want. So make sure there's very little gap all around. You want it to match the surrounding areas. Now I'm just going to get the nail gun and put a few nails. So this is short enough where I could just put a nail right here and I'll be okay. So I'm just going to angle them in and it's going to go straight into the subfloor. I'm just using, I think, 2 1/4 inch long finish nails here. Now I'm going to get my punch and just hammer the heads in past flush. Next, I'm going to get the wood filler and just fill in the little nail holes. All you need to do is let this dry and you are done. It's best to refinish this with the rest of the wood so it's a perfect match and it won't stand out. Thanks for watching.